Hello there, everybody. I'm Mel Allen, and this is Baseball Collector.
Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, Baseball Collector. Happy Wednesday. And today I got a couple things to show off that I've gotten in the last few days. And man, I tell you, it's been one of those periods in the post-national world that, for me, that is always interesting, because if you think about leading up to the show and the excitement and the build-up and the hype and all of that, then you're at the show. For me, it was I was really engrossed into it, both pre-show, excitement, hobbypalooza, all the things I was involved in. I felt like I was hobbying a lot. And then the show, you're literally cards 24/7, which is great. So there was that. And then I don't even want to use the word letdown. It's more like, okay, that's all over. And real life, which we're all struggling, we all juggle real life and hobby. And like, okay, I need to spend time with my family. I've got wife, kids, job, golf, other things I like to do. And, there's only so much time in every day. And so you have to decide, all right, what am I going to be focusing on? What am I going to be spending time on? And I spent so much time on the hobby for probably 6 weeks, including the National, up to it and including it, that I went, okay, I'm going to take a break's not the right word, because I didn't really take a break. I just, in terms of like not doing anything in the hobby, I just did a lot less, if that makes sense. And so I've been catching up on work and taking my daughter to college and helping Julie deal with what's going on with her new job. And so that's all good. Like, it all has to happen, right? So you just have to kind of find balance and figure it out. There were literally days where I didn't watch any YouTube content at all, which is unusual and kind of enjoyable, actually. I didn't feel like I had to keep up. And I think that's what a lot of people go through, especially if you're not even into the hobby as much as we are, as some of us are. You may go days or weeks without watching any YouTube hobby content or buying cards on eBay or whatever. So I've literally, since I've been back from the National, I've bought one card. I've gotten a couple in. These all came in, that I bought pre-National. But I've only bought one card since the National. And I haven't even really been looking either. I haven't felt compelled to go look. I have some video ideas. I only do content. Let me put it this way. I only do content when I have something to do content about. I feel like one of the biggest mistakes that people that are content creators is they try to force content. And I think that's a mistake, because then it looks forced and it feels forced. And that's because it is. So I'm not going to do content just for content's sake. I'm going to do content when I have something to say or something to show or something to talk about or whatever. So like, it's been a week since my last video almost, and don't know when my next one will be, honestly. I'm trying to figure out stuff for the podcast to be able to do that. I've done some videos with Ty on Bench Clear. We're shooting another one tonight, as a matter of fact. So I'm staying busy with the hobby, just not engrossed in the hobby as it was pre and during the National. But I've got some showcases I want to do, some player showcases of player runs that I've completed. But it's funny. I go, usually I get excited about those, and I'm kind of like, do I really want to spend the time and go through the beast and pull, like Nolan Ryan has so many cards, like, I'll do it later, and then I'll do it later. And so I'll get to it. I'll do it. And it's just, again, it's not burnout. It's not like I want to quit the hobby or any of that stuff. It's just slower, much, much slower in terms of my hobby activity overall. And that goes through ebbs and flows like everything else. There's times I'm playing golf a lot, and then there's times like right now when it's 103 outside that, maybe I won't play golf today. So yeah, that's the ebbs and flows of being a hobbyist. You roll with it, and that's okay. So I do have a couple of cards I'm going to show And yeah, I'd love to know down below if you would like to see Nolan Ryan or Roberto Clemente first. That may inspire me and get me to, if you say, oh, I'd love to see Nolan Ryan or I'd love to see Roberto Clemente, that might egg me in a direction and get me off the schneid here and moving towards that. I am excited about the end of baseball season coming up. It looks like to me that after the trade deadline that there are some really stacked teams and there's some really terrible teams. To me, I can't imagine the Dodgers not winning the World Series with what their lineup is and their bench and who they have pitching. I mean, good grief, they are really good. But the Giants have been shockingly good. I mean, the Giants are still leading the division. Just don't know if they have enough firepower to keep up with the Dodgers, but and I have no dog in that fight. I'm not necessarily a fan of either team, but I just look at it and go, holy crap, they are really good. And then the Rays and White Sox still doing well. The Phillies are in first place, so who knows what's going to happen over the last 6 weeks of the baseball season, but it should be a lot of fun to watch that. I'm excited. I'm definitely not going to be watching the Rangers because they're terrible, but I can follow along, and I love the game, so I love seeing what's all happening and how that's all transpiring. So, all right, let's. These cards are not biggie cards. They're really simple, but I love them anyway. So let's take a look. Here we go. Okay, only 4 cards to show. Like I said, these came in kind of after the National, and I just hadn't shown them off yet. I kind of get on kicks, when you're doing a project or have as many projects as I do. I kind of start, let's focus on that set. So I was focused on 83 Topps for a little while there, and I found several of them. The first one is the 83 Topps All-Star Andre Dawson. I think 83 was the first year. At that point, I was 10 years old. Man, I opened more 83 Topps probably than every pack I'd opened since 81, 82, when I got into the hobby and started, opening baseball card packs. I think I really started going nuts in 83. I remember opening so much of it and having so much of it that I remember all these cards. I mean, the All-Star cards, interesting design. I don't know that I'd call it cool. I love the 82 Topps All-Stars, but this one's very nice. I love it. And 8s are fine. These are all 8s for the 83s that I got. I got the Wizard Ozzie Smith in an 83 Topps with a flip that looks like it's coming out of the holder there. I need to fix that. Let's see. Yeah, fixed. And then I got a Tom Seaver. Tom Seaver is one of those runs that I would really like to complete, but he has got some key cards in the 70s, early 70s that are really expensive for what I consider what they are. I'm like, it's just a Tom Seaver card. Why is it $50, or whatever? So I'm struggling internally with paying for those, but I'll get there, I guess, at some point. Or maybe prices will continue to drop and I'll be able to pick them up. But this 83 Topps in an 8 was not very expensive at all. So glad to grab that. So that's all for the 83s. I did get one vintage card. I got this 1969 Topps Juan Marichal. That's another player run that I'm really close, just a couple of cards away. He has a couple of cards in the 70s where he's a high number, so those have been elusive for me. Again, like I say about just about every card that's out there, it's not about finding it. You can find it. It's, are you willing to pay for it? Are you willing to pay the price? And that sometimes that answer is no. For me, a lot of times it's no, but still looking. Just every once in a while I'll get on and look for cards that I need, but that 69 fills a hole, so glad to add that one. Beautiful PSA 5. So that is it for today, guys. Thanks for checking it out, and let me know which player run you want to see, player showcase you want to see next, and I'll get working on it. Everybody have a great day. Take care. Keep collecting.